What up? Back with the City Pigeons Podcast. Meech, Rodg. I'm Jesse Rendell. How you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Incredible.
All right.
A little hot out, but
yeah,
you know.
I don't do well in the heat. I think that goes without saying. We're down here in Manayunk again, back at the home base, but we got something new and exciting that we're going to pilot here in this episode.
Fink on the couch.
Fink on the couch.
The casting couch.
Welcome. Yeah.
It's my new spot.
You ever been on film?
You like it?
You like that over there?
Looks good, man. You look good over there.
It's fun.
Hey, and we got a digital component there behind you. So we're going to be able to do lots of exciting stuff and see how people are chiming in. This week, we actually had some really good interactions with the people. And City Pigeons is for the people, as you know. Right? You guys understand that?
Sort of.
Sort of.
Some people.
Some people.
Not all the people.
Okay, that's fair.
There's always the haters out there.
Well, you know.
Yeah.
No, I love the haters.
You're not doing anything.
You don't got haters, and you're not doing shit right?
Right. Yeah. Somebody in particular called me out for something. But anyway, so this past week, some really good back and forth around the Roosevelt conversation. People were taken aback by the fact that you called the boulevard Roosevelt Boulevard, and we had some people.
Which is absolutely ridiculous. Listen, this is the last thing that I'll say about it. It's everybody that I knew growing up called it Roosevelt Boulevard.
Now you're saying growing up.
Growing up. Like it was called Roosevelt Boulevard. There was no one's ever corrected me. No one ever said it was strange. So I never changed, and that's so whatever.
I think that's unbelievable. Well, I was doing some research actually. I Googled Roosevelt Boulevard, and it was funny to me. You know how when you Google something, there are the first couple questions that pop up, the most common questions, and one of them was, "Is Roosevelt Boulevard safe?"
No,
absolutely. It's like one of the most dangerous roads, right?
Intersections
and
in the country.
that's what, when I obviously was amused, so I hit the answer, and it was like, this intersection is the most dangerous intersection in the entire country. So Roosevelt Boulevard, not safe. We know that. How it's pronounced is another question. I was actually talking about this last week with somebody, and they brought up, the fact that Roosevelt Boulevard is named after a very famous president.
Teddy?
Do you guys remember?
George Washington.
Remember what his name is? You remember what this president's name is?
Teddy Roosevelt.
Teddy Roosevelt.
Teddy Roosevelt?
Teddy what?
Teddy Roosevelt.
The inconsistency.
No, it's very consistent. It's Teddy Roosevelt as the president, and it's Roosevelt Boulevard and Roosevelt Mall.
I will say this: when I was looking at all the people who were responding, how they say it, Roosevelt was a lot of the older crowd. No offense, Meech, respectfully. There was a lot
You're not offended.
People were like, "Oh, my parents, my great grandparents used to say Roosevelt and stuff like that."
Because I learned to say Roosevelt from someone else. I learned Roosevelt Mall. That's not something I came up with on my own.
Damn, such a boomer. Well, we had some people.
That's all right, I love it.
You love it? All right, more of that. So we had some people chiming in on this, and we thank everybody for jumping in, and we love to engage with you. And so Fink, I think, is going to cue something up here for us. We had a particular take on this from Jen Fainberg.
We want to thank Jen for chiming in for us, and here we go.
I just wanted to chime in on the debate about how we pronounce the boulevard's name, because I don't say Roosevelt or Roosevelt, I just say Roosevelt. Just Roosevelt Boulevard, Roosevelt, no F sound in between. That's my 2 cents.
She's saying Roosevelt?
Roosevelt, just 2 syllables.
What the fuck is
She
that?
doesn't add
3
anything.
syllables.
We always, I feel like as a
It's
city, we
a
always
way
add
to
letters in
shorten
there.
it,
You're right. So this is an interesting thing. It takes the whole kind of debate to a new level about how many syllables we're talking here. Because I think most people are throwing that third syllable in, right? Roosevelt.
Right.
You're going Roosevelt.
I do the 3
She's
syllables.
saying Roosevelt. And I think there are a lot of people who go, Roosevelt Boulevard, right?
Right.
All right. So that's a whole new level. But bottom line is,
This is getting completely
this has gotten way too far.
It's Roosevelt Boulevard. Let's be honest. Come on,
All right,
guys.
well, we're going to have to agree to disagree. But
if it's after Teddy Roosevelt, then it's Roosevelt Boulevard.
he's not.
I can agree and still pronounce it however
Yeah,
the hell
you
I
exactly.
want.
And she can say Roosevelt or whatever hoagie mouth shit she's got going on, but it's Roosevelt Boulevard if we're going to be
All right.
correct here.
All right. Well, look, bottom line is It was cool to have a nice little debate about that. One thing I realized.
No disrespect, by the way.
No
to
disrespect.
Jen Fainberg.
Yeah, we appreciate the
Thank
commentary.
you for chiming in.
But I was thinking about it, I was like, if you moved here from another city, this is a pretty tough place to like know your way around when it comes to pronouncing a lot of this stuff, right? I mean,
guess
Schuylkill
so.
River alone is probably pretty challenging. But then I was thinking of some of the like.
Well, all you got to do is listen to your Waze.
Yeah, listen
and
to your
how
Waze.
They mispronounce every other street, and
Yeah,
just
exactly.
know your Waze ain't from around here.
All right, I don't usually have it on.
But is Waze
audio.
the proper
No,
pronunciation?
Waze is
What do you
just.
think?
I don't know. It might be.
No.
No, Waze doesn't know how to pronounce Moya Mincing.
Well, that's not easy to pronounce if you don't know what you're doing, or you're a digital persona that was created by some tech geek, right?
Yeah.
How does your Waze say Roosevelt?
Ooh, how does Waze say Roosevelt?
Is it Roosevelt?
I think
or-
they might say Roosevelt.
Watch, it's gonna say. It's gonna say Roosevelt.
Yeah, somebody check
You
that
look it
out
up.
when they're driving and chime in with Waze says.
But it's just
when
a
it comes down to
stupid
Roosevelt,
computer voice
Roosevelt
anyway.
Boulevard.
Well,
That's
look,
what I'm like. It can't actually.
right. It's not engineered for that.
Real something aside, can we agree that Waze is the best GPS app?
I don't know any others, so I guess so.
Maybe.
I used the Maps one when I first got my iPhone, but then I think Apple bought Waze, didn't they?
I think Google merged it all together. But
I use
you know.
Google most of the
Shit's
time.
garbage.
What about I don't want to keep this going on
Yeah,
forever. But
yeah,
what
yeah.
about Pass?
Sorry.
Passy Young? Pass.
Passyunk.
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 Passyunk. There's an
Passyunk.
H. Is there an H in there?
Nah.
I always said Passyunk. Is that
Nah.
bad?
If you're from
Passy?
SP, it's
Passyunk?
Passyunk.
All right.
Passy
Well,
Young.
I'm not, and you kind of are.
Yeah.
You've become a son of South Philly. So just say it real fast. Say anything real fast, right? And you're totally good. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, there is a lot of difficult things in the city, like you said. And I agree. Like King Essing.
Why you mincing?
Why you mincing?
Winger
Yeah.
honking. Yeah. Like it's full of crazy stuff. So here we are in July again. Still stuck without a ton going on, but did have the Derby, the home run Derby going on.
Schwarber got robbed.
Our boy Schwarbs. I mean, can you say he got robbed with a performance like that, though?
Kind of,
Yeah?
because he shouldn't have lost, and he did.
Can-
Isn't that the definition of getting robbed?
I guess you're right. He put himself in that position by not finding any sort of rhythm. Some of these guys, was it Rodriguez, right? Gets up there and just from the start is just like locked in.
So he got knocked out first round, right?
Yes.
And he hit 19 or whatever, and he lost to Pujols, who hit 20.
He technically hit
Break
20.
it down.
How many did everybody?
Albert Pujols got credit for his 13th homer about 3 seconds after the clock hit 0. The guy pitched it, and it went out, and they gave him 13.
right.
And then they get that extra minute bonus time. And in that extra minute, Pujols hit 7 more. So he should have finished with 19. He finished with 20. Then Schwarber went up, same minute, the bonus time. He had to get 7, which he should have only had to get 6. He gets 7, but they only credit him for 6 because the barrage of pitches and swings.
And there's the little kids in the outfield catching random balls and shit.
and they don't have somebody counting. Or
yeah,
for
like,
some
how's that
reason?
come down?
Yeah,
I know
don't-
you. I know you're a man of the table. How does that come down when like people are betting on this shit, right? Like,
Well, that's what ruins this whole thing is because, I mean, the degenerates have nothing better to do on All-Star games, so they bet every little prop. And when you can't even count the homers right, even the one round, Soto went second, and I forget who he knocked off. It was like the second round, and he knocked them off, and then just kept hitting homers, and they were bombs. But they weren't counting any of them.
Right.
But if you had props,
under.
if you had his over total
So did they
homers,
not
you
count
probably
the
would have
excess?
won. No, they didn't count the excess. They
Oh.
only counted the extra.
yeah,
the
they
one,
got
and then
to
ended
tighten
it.
that ship up.
When
They gotta
there was
clearly
still
define the
30
rules.
seconds
yeah, they got to tighten that
so
up.
when you go second, you're at a disadvantage when it comes to those type of prop bets. So these rules are just all over the place. They change them every year. It used to be swings and outs. Now it's a time limit. So these the batting practice pitchers just keep firing them in there,
Yeah.
and it's like you can't keep up with it.
So you said that Schwarber, whatever, Sherbert.
Did you just call?
Whatever his name is. You know I'm not the biggest Phillies fan.
Where are you headed with
But
this?
you're saying that he shit the bed because he hit 19, should have been 20. But what did everybody else fucking hit in its first round? Wasn't
One
it a
guy
wrong?
had 30,
Oh.
31.
Yeah, it was all over the place. But
Right. It's just who could do it most
the
quickly.
point was, he either had as many homers as Pujols or more than him, and they
Got
credit
robbed.
him for less.
And we're pissed off because we're Philadelphia Phillies fans, and we feel like our guy got robbed, and it's BS.
If I'm going to waste
I
a
could care
night
less,
to
to be
watch
honest
the
with
home
you.
run derby, I'm going to
You
get
wanna see it.
angry if
Yeah,
a
you
Philly
gotta get
gets
angry.
robbed.
Do you like the 10 outs or the time limit better for the home run derby?
I don't give a shit, to be honest with you. I just watch it because there's nothing better to do.
Well, let me say this. I'm a big proponent of the outs, only because this just comes down to, like, these guys are trying to hit so quick.
Yeah.
And the pitching is, like, everything. The one guy was like...
But I remember the one round Juan Soto started off 30 seconds. He went homerless. It was probably about 5 or 6 swings. So now you're at 6 outs, and you probably don't get the performance out of Juan Soto that you
got
get
a
in the
point.
time limit.
You got a point. I'm
So
sure they've
who
thought
knows?
through all this.
So-
Yeah, they've ruined everything about All-Star Weekend in every sport. It's not even worth.
well,
This kind of relates to the surfing contest, right? Isn't that a time thing?
it is. I don't know how surfing and home run derby relates.
So, like,
per se,
would
but
you
it's-
rather have a 5-wave limit or like a
right, or a window of time?
Yeah, or a window of time.
It depends. It depends on what happens.
But in surfing, you could be out there for 3 hours waiting for 5 waves. Where
Right.
in the home run derby,
Yeah.
you can't
Yeah.
take the guy's pitching
I
15
don't know.
miles an hour from.
I'm just trying to relate it back to this guy.
behind
Yeah,
the
well,
net.
I appreciate that.
The
I
Rob
think,
Kelly surf we
yeah,
had
yeah,
a
I
couple
think
weeks
the
ago.
biggest issue for me is, like, I'm trying to watch this thing. They've got, like, quadruple box going. They've got, like, the Chiron. They got, like, 3 boxes. You see him hit one home run. I'm trying to see if that went out. They switch back to him hitting. I can't tell what the hell's going on. So they must have got messed up trying to count it like that. But I never even thought, honestly, to gamble on the home run derby. I kind of wish that I did. That would have made it a lot more fun. But I know you told me some things that you could place bets on that I never thought. I mean, I thought, you could obviously bet maybe.
You know, I saw on Twitter that morning one of those gambling guys. They put out a tip. They said, "Hey, listen, on DraftKings, the maximum the over under on exit velocity for a home run was 112.5 miles an hour." And this dude who put this tip out went back to the 2006 home run derby, and the winner has never had an exit velocity less than 212.5. So basically saying there's no chance for it to lose.
That is some deep digging
and
right
and
there.
within the hour, it moved up from 112.5 to 116.5, just based on this guy's information that he
No shit.
looked up. So I guess if you look for sharp things like that in these All-Star games, you can make a killing.
Can you bet on, like, average launch angle? Like, where does this begin and end?
No, there's no launch angles. It was basically exit velocity was the craziest thing. It was the longest home run you hit over under. I think Juan Soto was like 470.5. He hit one 482. Pete Alonso's was like 460. He hit one 470.
Yeah.
That's
So-
wild that you can bet on that, like
Yeah, it's-
exit velocity shit.
And then you could have taken each round. Like the first round, Schwarber was like I think a minus 300 favorite over.
didn't work out
over
well.
Pujols. But that's why I'm sure a lot of
Got
people
screwed.
took Schwarber, and I
Yeah.
know that FanDuel they did a boost they call it. That's where they give you
Right.
good odds on something, and it was Schwarber and Soto to make it out of the first round, and everyone on FanDuel would
Jumping
hit
on
that
that.
boost
I would have bet that.
if Schwarber would have.
See, this is why
Pulled
it's
it
good that I didn't even.
That's
think
probably
to
why
bet.
the
I would've
count
hit
was
that.
all fucked.
Well,
would've
see,
hit
I don't think they did it to spite gambling, but they should because so much money is gambled on it. They should have a stricter rule for how they add up the home runs.
Well, maybe FanDuel called in like, "Hey, you gotta miscount one of these home
possibility.
runs."
In case you were wondering, I had Juan Soto plus 440 last night to win.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Juan Soto plus 4. That's what you had.
Yeah. To
How
win
much
the
did you
Derby.
put on it?
20. So I won like 80 something bucks.
Nice. That's solid.
take
But now let's ask the follow-up question: what other bets did you have that you lost?
Kyle Schwarber to win it for $20.
Okay. Anything else?
And I put 10 on.
So that's a net
Right.
plus
Yeah,
six.
so
someone
my
else.
point
Yeah.
is
That's like gambling on golf. When you
Yeah.
go into the weekend, you're like, all right, this guy might not win, but I'm gonna put 5 here, 10
fun
here.
of it, though.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
gives you something to cheer for.
Shout out
like-
to what's my man's name? Joe Dirt, Cam Smith, for winning that Open.
Cam Smith, that was a
dude
hell of a
ballin'.
performance. Hell of a performance. Yeah, Rocky, by the way, you're not in the golf pool, are you?
No,
Do you follow golf at all?
barely.
All right, well, he has a pool where you pick, guys that play.
Right.
It's great until you pick Justin Rose, and then he withdraws because he's got a back issue, and then you would have won, but you don't.
The guy who won actually picked Justin Rose and made a
How did he get
substitution in
Adam
time.
Scott?
We got to go back and I'm gonna go back and check
Yeah,
the
we gotta
timestamp.
audit
How
on
do we
that.
get in this pool?
You're in.
Next time.
There we
But we
go.
got to wait. It's a
Yeah,
major
it's
thing.
only majors. So
Well, going back to the topic of all-star, all things all-star, because I think, like, when we were growing up, we talked about this a little bit when we were doing the shoe episode. I remember you were talking about, how the Kevin Durant, what were those called, Space Odyssey or something?
No, the Galaxy.
The Galaxies, right?
Galaxy
You were talking
Five.
about how, like, that weekend, everybody had the shoe drops, and, I remember watching when you had Michael Jordan in the All-Star game and the slam dunk contest, and, like, obviously, it's kind of going back to the old boomer take here, saying everything was better, but it just kind of seems that way, right? Like, is it why?
It was better because people cared more. They don't care about it anymore. It's a weekend of like going to a party. The game is
You mean the
second nature now.
players.
The players,
Right.
Which the players caring about the game
Right.
makes it fun.
Yeah,
they just care enough to get in to get that bonus.
of course they care.
Yeah.
And I'm not even saying they should care about the All-Star game, but at a certain point, why even have it? It's better to have kind of like skills competitions, or
I agree.
They're not trying. It's sort of embarrassing at points.
Do you remember, like, when we were young in the NBA All-Star game? Did they try? Did they play hard? I don't know.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it is now, where they're
No.
throwing, like, everyone gets out of the way, you throw the backboard out.
Right, there wasn't much defense,
Right.
But it like at a certain point in the like the early 2000s, it just became an offensive showcase. It was like, which was cool, but then it just tilted so far the other way.
Well, the general idea, which is a good one, right? Is like these are the best players in whatever league playing with each other against the best players. That's why I actually I like the baseball All-Star game. I think it's real hard for a pitcher. Baseball is such a duel, right? It's really hard for a pitcher to get up there and be like, well, I'm just going to throw this 80 miles an hour. You know what I mean? They want to look good too. So that pitcher-batter battle, I think, keeps it cool. And I love how they have guys at different positions with their, like, uniforms. My son is super into baseball. It's still like a special thing. Oh, there's this guy. There's this guy. That's the other thing. The All-Star games are definitely about the kids too. Like, kids get into them, seeing all their favorite players out there. I think we can all agree the Pro Bowl is,
Terrible.
it's just
Just
it's not
scrap
meant to
it.
be.
They
in
were talking
today's-
about scrapping
I mean,
it,
they
right?
could, for all, as far as I'm concerned, they can kill the All-Star games, but just wait until after 2026 because I kind of want to go to when it's at Citizens Bank Park.
Right, and I think we got a handful of them, right?
Yeah, hopefully for our little
250th
bicentennial or no
celebration. Did
So
get that?
buy and a half.
I
cent,
don't think
whatever.
I've ever seen a baseball All-Star game. So you're telling me these pitchers are really slinging it out there? They're tossing that heat?
Yeah,
Yeah, but sometimes they like make a deal with the batter, like I'm just going to throw it as hard as I can over the plate, try and hit it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's
I don't
fine.
like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
I don't like, or maybe they.
And how does that
But I-
work in with, like, I know these pitchers
Gambling.
are like,
Look,
this is one reason why I hate baseball is because of the whole, like, you got to pitch every 5 days, and if you do it, it fucks everything
Rest.
up. Yeah,
Yeah.
how does that work in with that?
Well, they're not only throwing an inning or two.
yeah, you're,
No,
you're talking about just regular baseball strategy.
Yeah,
It's got
I don't
nothing
know. All right, I'll shut up.
Now, I really think they should probably just get rid of them and let every player rest. Maybe have a halfway all-star team that you put out. But I remember, like, they used to have off-season basketball charity games where the best players in the league were playing charity games. They would have, you remember, like, the Battle of the Network Stars type of things where they'd have and then they had, like, the Rock and Jock MTV Jam. But at a certain point, they knew when to stop those because
Right.
they were getting boring
Yeah.
and no one cared about them anymore, to where people were just keep going with these all-star games. Like,
Well, it's funny. Like, they still have the kind of rock and jock thing, but you turn that on, you have no idea who the people are. The celebrities.
That's
You know
'cause
what I
you're
mean?
fucking old,
celebrity
man.
game.
Nah, well, part of it is probably
Yeah,
because
it's
I'm
definitely
old.
But they
Because
don't
yeah.
have 50-point baskets and
I agree. The All-Star games are
Cortez.
pretty lame.
Dan
I
Cortez.
do like the NBA All-Star game. I'm not gonna lie. I just like the art of basketball and they do kind of lock down in that last like little.
Well, since they changed this to the Elam ending,
yeah,
it's
they
pretty
kind of
cool.
locked. Remember like a few years ago when Kobe was going at LeBron and LeBron. Remember that they had that like whole like I don't know how many minutes it was, but they were like really playing ball. So I like the NBA game still. I agree with you with the secondary stuff is way better. So like get rid of the All-Star games, except maybe the NBA, and just keep all the secondary shit because that shit is pretty cool.
You
Like
the
the skills challenge.
I don't know.
Well, I have a question on that one. So the skills challenge, would you rather win a home run derby or a slam dunk contest?
Slam
'Cause
dunk
I feel like they're
contest,
like
all
the
day.
two like primo contests.
Yeah, I agree.
Slam dunk contests are like so creative and they go up for years to come. People never say like, hey, remember that home run that well, except for
remember back in
except for the
22
Griffey,
when
like the
Schwarber got
Griffey
robbed?
Jr. off the
You still bring up Iguodala getting robbed.
Look,
So it's up to like the judges. Like, come on.
I
Like,
would definitely.
I'm going the other way only because home run derby, that's just raw power, man. You're up there just
I think just
jacking them. It's pretty
slamming
sweet.
home
Because you got no
Probably.
athleticism. You can never dunk.
Like you could dunk. I mean, maybe for like a moment.
Oh, I yammed a couple balls in the hole. Come on now.
You're like the guy that like barely gets it over.
I
and
caught a
like your
couple
fingers,
oops.
no.
Don't hate on my
There's just
game,
no
sir.
way. I'm not hating on your game. I'm just saying there's no way you were dunking, dude. There's no
You just
way.
can't
Do
appreciate
you have
the art.
footage? I mean,
We didn't have cell phones back in
footage
the days.
I'm not buying it.
Anyway.
Meech.
we have a Meech dunk footage thing,
Meech.
don't we, Meech?
I used to be able to dunk. When
We
I,
have
Yeah,
footage.
see?
of
Okay,
tennis
Meech.
ball.
this
There
just
is
in.
Meech dunking somewhere.
Everybody on the City Pigeons podcast can dunk. Apparently, I'm not believing. Fink, can you dunk?
Not a chance.
Me either, man.
I can't dunk anymore, but
listen,
I
I was playing
definitely
basketball
threw a
last
couple
week and I
down.
looked up at the rim. I'm like, holy shit, I can't get up there.
I was the dude that like started. I got net, then I got like a little backboard, and I was cool with that. But you know, this does bring up an interesting topic because you guys met through this podcast a while back when we started doing it. I've known both of you guys forever, and you formed this little independent relationship, which I think is just the greatest thing, and such that you went up. Not far from here, and you guys did like a showcase to get drafted into a men's basketball league. And then
Wait, hold on. This isn't a men's basketball. This is an over 40
That's why I
basketball.
called it.
It's actually not. I thought it was. but
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a couple 20-some-year-olds.
Oh, I can't wait this. Who's the 20-year? I'm going right after him.
The
coming
kid
right
looked
at
like
you.
he was 12.
All right, I'm going right after him.
All right, so it's a men's league, and then you guys somehow rigged it so you ended up on the same team in the
listen,
draft.
I think the league has been going on for years, and most of the guys are regulars in the league. My boy Swaggy Mitch called me up. He said, "Listen, I know this is a long shot, but any chance you'd be willing to play basketball?" And I'm trying to get back in shape. I was like, "Yeah, you know what? I'll give it a shot. Let me go." Well, they have like a 6 or 7 teams, and he says, "If you know anyone else, we need a couple more guys." So I said it one night, and I don't know if you didn't hear me. Or,
Whatever.
You can't commit. So I love playing
so
recreational
Raj joined,
sports.
and
so
then
I
we
jumped
went,
on it.
We went to the little showcase, and Swaggy Mitch drafted both of us. But our
about
team is solid. I would probably like the least solid of our team, but we're looking good.
Hey,
First
shout
game's
out.
tomorrow night.
Yeah, first game is tomorrow night.
Hey, good
Shout
luck.
us out.
Shout out to Swaggy Mitch.
Maybe you
for-
see some footage from that league at some
for
point in the
drafting
future.
these two guys and continuing to build the rapport
Shout
there.
out Swaggy Mitch.
That was just meant to be, I think. So does he know about your recurring knee injuries? Has he talked to
My
him about
knees are
this?
all right, man. They're all right.
You said
I got some.
I remember we had the one
You don't
episode.
jinx it, man.
He was talking about how washed he was. How washed he was.
I'm washed, but for
that was last month. Why are you bringing
for
up
an
old
old
shit?
for a fucking old head league, I'll be all right.
All right. Well,
My knees are good.
Let's get back to professional sports and
See you in the fall, buddy.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I will not be ready to go most likely. So I was thinking, Meech, if you had gone to an All-Star game, if you went to the modern day All-Star game today, do you think they would give you a paper ticket?
No, I don't think they would.
Absolutely not.
They definitely would. You'd get it in a laminated thing.
No, probably not.
You don't think so?
No,
You think you're really gonna? You're only
because
gonna
I
get
think most tickets are bought on the secondary market to where they just mail them to you, or they say,
Okay.
"Hey, give me your email address and I'll
Good
send
point.
it to your account."
now the secondary market is a good point, but I
The
would.
only way you get it like a legit paper ticket would be probably if you got it through the event,
Right.
Right,
but
venue.
there gets to a certain point with events, right, where they do issue you a paper ticket, right? Like obviously the Super Bowl, you're getting a paper ticket. I mean, you also probably have the digital version. To your point of wanting to have the option.
Again, maybe you never get to that point.
Yeah, because you're buying it on secondary market.
Right.
Well, anyway, I know that you've been crying out for these print tickets, and I know we had somebody reach out to us to give us a good example of a scenario where they actually were able.
It's not really. It's a horrible example.
Okay.
But I noticed last week this guy I know on Twitter, Mike Bradley, he had his digital tickets for the NFC Championship game, and he wanted the paper tickets for them since it happened. So he put up on Twitter, he said, I finally was able to get them. So I was like, wow, this is probably a cool story. Maybe others could follow in your lead and get their own tickets. So I messaged him on the side. I go, yo, man, if you don't mind me asking, how'd you get those tickets? He said, it was like the most random story. He said, 20 years ago, Donovan McNabb had a kid, and he sent his kid a gift, like a gift for being born, and the team manager or whatever the fuck kept in touch with him all these years, and he got in touch with him. He said, listen, could you do me a favor? I'm trying. So this guy did him a favor. So I basically was looking out to see if anyone else could do it, and his advice was, give somebody a baby gift, and maybe 20 years later you'll have a favor repaid to you. So it's not looking good for other people who want to turn their digital tickets into paper.
But that was interesting to me because we're talking about an NFC Championship game. I mean, that was a great game, right? And if you're, let's say you're a season ticket holder who, you don't have the chance to go to the Super Bowl, maybe can't get a ticket or whatever, that's like your ultimate experience, and you've got just the Apple Wallet screenshot. You know what I mean? That kind of drove your point home to me. You know what I mean?
Shout out to what's my man's name? Mike Bradley.
Mike Bradley.
He said he kept the tickets in his wallet for 5 years.
We got the tweet up over there.
Wait. He kept the paper ones he got.
Tickets in his Apple Wallet.
No, the Apple Wallet. He kept it in there for 5 years, waiting to get the physical tickets.
It's actually kind of sad because you know how you use your wallet now for like flights and stuff?
Yeah.
When I go back in there's so many games, and I start to look back at them, and I was
delete.
like, this is meaningless. Like, this game was, I can't. There's too many.
I just did that this weekend randomly. I just deleted all the stuff in my wallet. So
I guess it's a digital version of the side drawer.
But yeah, check it out. My man Mike Bradley.
Man, that's what they used to be like. I got a ton of those at home.
He had the 4-pack.
Wow.
Sitting up in
that was 2 for the championship and 2 for the division.
Wow. Sitting up in 225, row 14.
That is very cool.
It's good work, Mike.
Yeah. Well, I think Meech, you reached out to him, right? Or did he comment on it?
No, I reached out.
2 hell of games to be at during that run.
Those are pretty good games.
Yeah. That was the best.
I turned down that Vikings ticket. I'm still salty about that. That's another story.
Why did you turn it down? Because you didn't want to pay?
I don't remember what it was. Probably.
There's no other reason.
Yeah, I like freebies, so
yeah, he's only down for the free tickets.
But once somebody stepped up and said I want it, then I had FOMO, and I was like, no, let me buy that one. Let me buy that, and just
yeah, you got to take advantage. You got to shoot your shot.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we talked about it a little earlier. We had a lot of people chiming in with different ideas. Fink on the couch, he's over here running the show. Fink, what did we have? We have any good suggestions for some topics that we could pull out here?
Oh, we did. Hold on.
got some feedback from the people.
We're putting them on the spot. Fink on the couch.
not
By the way, if anyone has any good ideas for
Because we don't have ideas.
Yeah, we're running. Hey, well, I mean, I just look. If anyone has any good ideas for renaming Fink on the couch or anything related to Fink,
No, it's Fink
What do
on
you
the
think about the
It's a
couch?
Fink on the
What do you
couch,
think about
that's done?
what's Fink on the couch now? I like casting couch with Fink.
casting
Hey, if
couch.
anyone wants to come over and sit on the couch with me, I mean, we got room.
We're definitely going to get some guests on the couch. There's no doubt about it. All right, what do you got there, Fink?
First one we got is parking spot lawn chair. Fair or fail?
Foul as fuck.
Wow.
I'm a South Philly person, so I deal with the parking. Somebody's got a lawn chair or a cone in their spot. Just cut it out. I mean,
Knock it off.
Just knock it off. Especially when there's no weather. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
You want your
There's
spot
no
in front of your
reason to do it
house
for no weather, but say you spent 3 hours digging out your spot in
Yeah.
snow, and you live in a narrow street, and you don't want anyone else to take it because there's nowhere else to park.
I can understand that to a certain extent, but like, you know,
I think
how many?
it all depends on the circumstances here. We're not just throwing parking chairs and cones
I mean,
willy-nilly out in the
nah,
street,
it's
right?
done.
I sometimes pull over and I'll toss them if it's like a fair weather day.
Yeah.
See,
I'll pull over. I'll toss a couple of chairs. Like,
You know what?
It annoys me.
I don't do that. In the world we live in right now, I'm not.
I
trying
haven't
to,
done it recently.
I'm just saying, I'm not trying to mess with anybody. Like,
Shout
you
out,
put your chair out, I'm not even gonna mess with your chair, man.
Shout out
Keep it.
Barber.
Oath
Barber
mode.
Seuss?
At oath mode.
What's her? Whatever.
At oath mode.
Oath
Love
mode.
it.
Shout out
I
Oath
get
mode
into,
for
I get
sending
into
that
oath mode sometimes. All right, that's
And
a
we
good
got
one.
another one from the Mush Brothers here. I feel like this is about Wawa.
Right.
The unattended vehicles left at gas station pumps. I'm guilty. I do this all the time.
All right.
I
You
go in, I'll buy whatever I need to
All right,
get.
hold up. Do you get gas first?
No, I always pay inside the store.
Okay.
I'm
You're
inside
paying
the
with
store.
cash.
I have cash all the
All right,
time.
so that's
I'm a
totally
cash guy.
different.
We
to
doing
me.
all that cash, bro.
How are you going to not leave your car unattended if you go into the store to pay
All right,
for
hold
gas?
on,
Park
hold on,
next
hold
to
on.
the pump. You go in, you buy
Right.
your
What,
stuff.
what
So
am I going
this-
to park in a spot, pay for the gas, and then find the pump? No.
No,
Well, some people
so
go
in
up, they
Fink's-
use their card to pay at the pump.
Right.
And then they don't go in the
So
store.
hold on.
Right.
So,
Hold on, stop. We're definitely not. Fink's situation is, I
Perfect.
don't think what we're talking about here, because if you're gonna pay cash, you got to go in the store. Now,
Yeah.
if you went into the store and said, "I'll take $40 on," well, nowadays, so I'll put $100 on whatever, and then you went and ordered a hoagie, you know what I mean?
I would
Got
do
in line.
that. If
You would
I'm
do
if
that.
I'm paying for gas in the spot, I have carte blanche to do whatever I want while the pump is in my car. I can
Okay, wait. But see, the
roam
pump is
around.
not in your car. He's going in to pay for it,
And I
right?
pump it when I come
So
out.
he would have to come back out, put the pump in. You see what I'm saying?
either way. If I pull up into
He can get a
the
hoagie.
spot, it's mine until I leave.
Yeah, see, I think that's
Go
what people
find another one.
I'm with Meech on that
14
one.
in a traditional Wawa parking lot.
I don't know,
There's
man.
14 pumps. Go
So-
find another one.
Now, all right, hold on.
what is
Different version of this. You go in, you swipe your card, you put the gas in the car.
Yeah.
Then you go in.
Yeah, I do that too.
That okay?
Because it fills up.
That seems like that's a more courteous, normal thing for people to do.
I think that's the asshole
I
move.
do whatever the hell I want. At a gas station.
Well, I'll do that, but then you have to rely on the fact that it's going to do the automatic snap
And if somebody
off
yells
not
at
just
me, I
be
will
like
not
gushing.
apologize to them. Screw you. Go find. There's a million other pumps. If you don't like these pumps, there's a million other gas stations.
All right.
Leave me alone.
I got another
Shout
one.
out to whoever that was that sent
Hey,
that.
Mush Bros.
Wait.
Bros.
I got another one. I'm not done with this yet. You're in New Jersey. You pull up. Some guy's going to come up and do it for you. Then you can absolutely go into the store, right?
No.
No, you got to stay in the car.
Yes.
Yeah. If a guy's
You already
for
gave him
you.
your credit card.
I will not go into a Wawa if I'm in Jersey. Like I'll park the car before I go in Wawa. Like I'll get my gas pumped,
Right.
then park the
so
car,
you don't like
then go in
leaving
Wawa.
the car with the guy.
Well, I feel like it's just like disrespectful to do it that way.
Yeah, I don't think you
All right.
can do that.
All right, people
Then
don't
he's
like
got.
that.
Then he's allowed to go through your car and steal stuff if you do that.
Well, yeah,
I say that's
we'll lock it.
disrespectful, but we're sitting here leaving our cars as we're ordering hoagies and
Yeah,
meatballs.
he's
and
letting you go through the store and pick
you're
out
in the
whatever you
bathroom
want.
and you're
That
just
makes
at the
sense to
gas
me.
I
pump.
might even go next door see what's going on.
Brilliant. All right, what else do we got?
I think it's enough.
You think it's enough?
I don't know.
Yeah, I see there you had Mount Rushmore of tailgate foods. That could take a long time.
And I like Meech's response to that. Meech said back to it, he said, it's probably better off at an Eagles tailgate episode situation like that. So that's a deep discussion there.
Deep discussion. Well, a lot of good stuff to get into.
Hoagies.
Hoagies.
That's the Mount Rushmore, sorry. Hoagies.
Oh,
Just hoagies.
you're biased. You'd have to be out of that conversation, I
Not
think.
too messy. Eat it with one hand. I kind of agree with him there.
Hoagie in one hand.
Oh,
beer
so
in
you're
the
saying
other?
hoagie is on the
It's a
Mount
great-
Rushmore of
Oh, yeah.
tailgate
Yeah, it's a great
foods.
tailgate food.
For some reason, when I think of tailgate foods, I think of hot foods. You know, stuff that's coming off the grill. But that's just me. And we could certainly spend a lot of time getting into that. I don't know how we even came up with this one. We were randomly talking about this, going back to our own. I'm sure people who are watching this want to hear about our accolades, our sporting experiences. And somehow we got into talking about some of our best and worst memories of growing up playing sports can be very traumatic, but you almost always have that one, memory of the thing you did, and then you have memories of stuff that didn't go so well. So, Rock, I know you said you had something that was kind of like both. So I'm real interested to hear
it really
that.
wasn't both. It was like when you sent that out, I was like, what's my most memorable thing that happened to me as a kid playing sports? And I was a youth at the sports camp over at the Germantown YMCA. Shout out Germantown Y. We were playing baseball, and
I already know this isn't going to go well.
a good friend of mine, was batting, and he's out there taking his swings. And I'm a youth. I'm probably like 10, 11 years old. I'm very eager to get into the batter's box and go. I'm ready to. And so I'm standing there. I'm like a little too close. So this kid gets his hit, bang, throws his bat. The bat comes right at me, hits me dead in the mouth.
Oof.
And
Metal?
I don't know if it was.
You don't
It's
even
probably
remember.
metal. I mean, we were
Had to be
kids.
metal.
So it
Kids
hit me in
don't
the
use
mouth.
wooden bats.
Back then.
I hit the ground screaming. I got to go emergency dental surgery. So right now I still have the half fake tooth right there.
Okay.
So I was probably about 10 years old. So shout out to whoever the dentist was that did this back in the day. That
Fucking
shit's
great.
still
Wait,
going,
you
yeah.
said that was both a good
Well, I
and
think, I
bad.
think there's more to come here.
Oh,
No, there's no.
That's it?
Yeah, I got hit in the mouth with a baseball
what was the
bat.
good part about that?
Show my mental toughness.
Wait, you're
As a
best
child.
Toughness. Get your teeth bashed in.
And you immediately left to go get emergency dental surgery. I
yeah.
thought he was going to say, and then I got done in time to get back for the game, or like the next week I hit a home run.
You know what? Actually, I got up from the ground, stepped in the box, hit a homer, then went and got my surgery.
Right.
As a 10-year-old.
I mean, I don't know where we. Originally, the idea was like your best. Did you have a best, or did you just immediately go to the bat in the face?
I got so many good sports memories as
Oh
a
my
kid,
God,
and we didn't even
so
get into that.
many.
Yeah.
Well, I had one that was now when I was a kid, I played on the Somerton Spartans. We had the best baseball team in the city, and I was probably like the 7th or 8th best kid. I wasn't one of the all-stars, but I was on the team since I was like 6 years old, and I guess they pick new all-stars every year. So the year we actually won it all, I was picked as one of the 2 all-stars for our team.
just to keep it fair.
I guess just so there's no repeats, you
got it,
pick.
yeah.
But that year I was very good. I was deserving of it. So we get to the All-Star game. It is at our home field in Somerton, and our coach, my coach, is the head coach of our All-Star team. So I'm like, this is great because he's my coach. He's going to hook me up.
Oh no.
We get the batting order, and they have to bat everybody on the team. There's 18 kids on the team. He bats me 18th.
Oh.
He's my coach. And I'm like, I'm not going to say the guy's name. He was a great guy, sort of. He was an alcoholic and a fireman. But
Nice.
He was a good guy. It was a different time. I was
There's
like,
still a lot of
I was
alcoholic
like,
firemen, I'm
"Coach,
sure.
why did you bat me 18th? He's like, well, I didn't want to show any favoritism. I'm like, fine. That's
the
definitely
opposite.
not favoritism. All right, so I'm batting 18th, okay? I'm about to.
How many at bats you get?
Wait, yeah.
One?
I got one at bat in the game, and it was in like the 3rd or 4th inning, and the bases are loaded, right? And I come
no.
up, nobody out.
Set
Now,
up for success here.
there's no reason for me to know the signs from the third base coach because it's an all-star game. We didn't go over signs before the game, but since he's my third base coach, I know the signs. And I don't want to get on his bad side because he's my goddamn coach, and I got to play for him later in the year. He gives me a sign, bases loaded, I swear to God.
bunt?
To bunt.
Oh, no.
And I'm up there, I'm like, this is the all-star
How
game.
old were you?
13, 12.
Please tell me you didn't bunt.
He had to.
I bunt it.
Oh, no.
Perfect bunt. Perfect because they weren't ready for it. Who the hell's ready for a bunt in an all-star game with the bases loaded, nobody out? Laid it right down the third base line. 1-run scores.
You were
I get
safe?
Safe, but I wasn't proud of myself.
Yeah.
I wanted to swing away. I'm
Now,
a goddamn
little
all-star
small
game.
ball.
Did this
dude.
coach pay you back like later in the season, like for the team? Like, listen,
You want me to tell you how he paid me back? I'm later in the year. We were playing a best-of-3 series versus NEO, and we were down 1-0. In the second game, I made a catch in center field, bases loaded, to save the game. Caught the ball, threw the guy out at second base who left early because he thought it was good, ended the game when we were up 1. It was huge.
Boom.
The next game, he doesn't put me in the starting lineup for my bat. He puts somebody else in there.
This guy was just
That's
playing
the
mental
kinda guy
games.
he
Yo,
was.
he's like, fucking, we go put a whole bunt cake Meech
He
in there.
he was a tough coach.
That's terrible.
Damn, that's rough. Well, these are great moments.
I tell these to my therapist when I'm not on City Pigeons.
What do you got?
You know the funniest thing is, I don't know if this is the case for you guys, but my dad will still talk about, I've got like 2 or 3 baseball moments from when I was a kid that he'll tell my son, and my son's like, whatever, I do not care. But I used to play in the East Falls versus Roxborough All-Star Challenge, right, where we'd have a game at Daisy Field in Roxborough, and then we'd have a game at McDevitt in East Falls. And this was my peak moment in the game at Daisy Field. I hit like the game winning single or something like that. I can't remember. Then the next day I hit a grand slam to tie it. We were down like 18-4 and somehow got back to 18-14. I was up. I hit a grand slam, which at McDevitt is like just means you hit it. There's no wall, so it just rolled forever. But it's just funny to me. He'll still tell these stories to this day, and so as lame as it feels to talk about, what you did.
Proud father.
Right? Yeah. And now I'm watching my son play baseball, and it's the coolest thing. And I got lots of great stories of stuff he's doing. So it's an awesome thing.
Going off of Jesse's story, so I have a proud father moment as well. I was about 8 or 9 playing football for Summerdale, and so I was always a small kid. I was like 30, 40 pounds. They had me playing center, and my dad would come out to the games on Sundays, yada yada. And after one game, I must have just stunk, and he just said, "This sucks coming out here, man. You stink." And
Wait, how old were you?
I was like 9 or 10. And like Meech was saying, he talked about his therapist about that. I probably still talk to my therapist about this. Like, it still sticks with me.
That definitely sticks with me. Your dad was like, "You suck."
Yeah, he came out with his
his
friend would come to the games on Sundays with him, and then after the one game, he just goes, "This sucks." He goes, "You're too small. This stinks." And I was
Did you
just
keep
like,
playing that season?
That was the last game I played.
Oh wow!
Walk off.
But that was the bad one. But the good story was we played a lot of foot hockey, Summerdale, Oxford Circle. So the one game I wasn't good. I was like a third line winger. I was just out there because I was out there. Scored a hat trick. Most kids in that game, the league probably averaged like 9 goals a game. So.
Damn.
He took the ball and he wrote Eric's hat trick on it. He gave it to me after the game. So I feel like he's probably mocking me on that, but that was my first hat trick.
Wait, did you say you call that foot hockey?
Yeah.
I never heard that before.
Just play on feet.
Yeah, I understand.
We had an outdoor league, indoor league, and like
yeah.
When we were growing up in summer Oxford Circle, like we played.
I thought that was called street hockey. Am I?
Is there a difference between?
No, it's the same thing. Street hockey, foot hockey.
Because we used to get down with the street hockey in the backyard. We used to go hard back there. Checks against the boards and all that.
Now, as an avid foot hockey player, what's your opinion on hockey with rollerblades? Was that like lame, or did you think that was like acceptable?
I was not good on rollerblades. That's why I played foot hockey.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting used to it, I was better with it.
Did they have games where people played with rollerblades that were good, right?
Oh yeah.
I just never understood how you stop on those things, because with skates you can just.
Yeah, I can't like skate. I can't rollerblade.
There are people who can like power
think
They
it's
have
slide.
the
like
same
little
thing.
stubs on the front.
Yeah, they do.
No, I
but
think it's the same.
Yeah, I think they can like
same-
power
yeah,
slide,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's the next level stuff.
Weren't you getting down with that?
Nah. It's actually, we had a couple friends that got super into rollerblading, extreme rollerblading.
Oh,
But I was a skateboarder, so I was like,
lame.
oh, hell no.
Yeah.
I'm not getting down with that. So I avoided
Good
that.
decision.
Yeah, that was a great decision in retrospect. Well, gentlemen, this was an interesting conversation about all of our accolades. Very happy to roll out Fink on the couch.
Casting couch Fink.
I think we're going to have a lot of opportunities to do some really good stuff with that moving forward. And like I said, we are always open to ideas about how we can really mix it up here
Yeah, guys,
on the
tap
City
in.
Pigeons
Tap in on the
podcast.
social media, the Twitter, the Instagram,
All that.
whatever else we got going on.
All that. We appreciate it. And we got some great guests lined up here in the summer, and some really cool stuff that we're cooking up for the fall. So keep checking us out, and see you next week.
Adios.
See ya.